This is a Jetfly Beats production.
What's up, grave robbers? Scott Blood here. Doing something a little different tonight. Doing an interview, of all things. Doing it with the director of the film Young Harvest. It was the film we just reviewed. It's directed by one Mr. Matt Ward. Matt, come on in, man.
All right. Hey, what's up, Scott Blood?
Doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on here. I'm a big fan of the Gravestone reviews, so.
Well, thanks for taking the time to come in.
Hey, dude, I watch it all the time. You know, you, Samuel, and me are all good friends, so I take care of it.
So this is your first directorial venture, if you will, into the film world, and you did it under Conrad Studios.
Yeah.
So, what was it like finally directing your first film?
It was really cool, actually. You know, working with the whole studio, me, Conrad, Brennan. You know, a lot of people have added on since Young Harvest and after Winter's Watching and all that. Then we just, you know, they're doing Colony 52 right now, so the studio's kind of building itself, and we're getting a huge response and a lot of support. You know, just in our core studio members, we've already added several people that are really awesome, and being able to do Young Harvest with the guys that I love most that I've been working with for over 3 years now it was just an honor. And when I got the offer, I was more than happy to step up and get in the director's chair. And, you know, Conrad said he'd executive produced the project, so I had him behind my back, you know, supporting me, making sure I was learning everything I need to, and, you know, all the people that came out and auditioned, and, you know, it was just a huge turnout, and I had a really good time with it, and I learned a lot.
All right, so I've had the ability and the opportunity to get to know Conrad a little bit over the last year and a half, roughly. What's it like working with the guy?
Working with Conrad's really cool. He's got a creative, you know, his mind is just very creative. He's got a creative personality. Everything he does, film-wise, writing, you know, photography, anything that is creative in the visionary sense and the writing aspect, and he's just a really intelligent guy. That's why I really like working with him. You know, when I met him back in 2010, when he was doing Shadow People, you know, it was instantly sparked that our friendship, you know, was not only just a business sense, but we really connected as friends. And essentially that's why he chose me to direct for that project, because he saw that I had the same desire that he did to create something and really follow through and take charge on it, because we share a lot of, you know, similarities as far as creating things and helping him out when we have an idea. You know, we just sit there and we go at it for hours as far as pitching back and forth ideas, you know, helping him write a screenplay better, helping me with my ideas that I may have. You know, it's really cool working with him. He's a good guy. But working with Conrad Farah is a really good thing. We've become really good friends over the years. It's really cool just being around someone who shares the same mindset and who actually has the experience. You know, he started really young. Me, I came into this at 22, not really knowing much about film, just what I learned through acting in college and stuff like that, but never really having a glimpse on the production end. And working with him, you know, holding the screenplay in the tripod, and while he's running the camera on our very small projects, to going to working with, you know, 100 extras and 40 people running around working behind the camera, trying to make sure we have all the lights and everything set up. It's really been a huge progress. It's been really good.
Now, this is your first time directing with Conrad Studios, but it's not your first time working with them.
No, actually, it's not my first time directing. It's my first feature film as a director.
That's right.
Yeah, I had Thank You, Mr. Giggles. That was my kind of first debut to kind of see if I had the hang of it, and see if it would be okay, if that's something I should go for. And that really opened my mind. And Conrad, when he came with me saying he wants me to do a feature, that was a huge landmark. So definitely it was a lot of fun, and it definitely has a lot of challenges. There's a lot of things that I learned, and there was times that I felt like I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and then there was times that it just got really stressful. But being with the crew that I love most really helped take the stress away, and, you know, it really helped, you know, being on a personal level with Conrad and him as my executive producer. You know, he told me the things that I needed to change to make sure this project went well, and I didn't take it harshly, or I didn't feel discouraged, because it was all creative, and I know what he wants to see, and he knows what I want to see, so we really push for that, and that's cool.
All right, Grave Robbers, I apologize. I gave a little bit of misinformation in the review. I try to keep up with the facts and everything that I can, and it doesn't always work out the greatest for me. I said the film was released in 2012, and that's not accurate. It was released in 2013. While it's not still an actual release, it was completed for festivals in 2013. We're hoping, sometime this year into next for an actual possible theatrical release.
Seeing how it goes with the festival circuit, that's our next step. We've already got the show at Scarefest. That was our actual world premiere. We have another screening coming up for Cleveland, Ohio, where we did all the filming for the movie, which you mentioned in the review. It's one of the things where as we get accepted, when we submit, as we get accepted, we'll know more. It's all kind of just spur of the moment. Now, after we're done with the festival circuit and we're ready to try to find distribution, maybe the festival circuits will bring us distribution. It's all just based on that. Because that's usually the card you have to play on independent film, is hoping someone will distribute you. If not, you have to go into your own type of distribution and try marketing it yourself, which it could be a lot of money. So
that it can. Mm-hmm. Speaking of money, was I correct in the $50,000 budget?
The budget for the film was smaller, but with the actual equipment and everything that we used, it equals out to $50,000 because we used 3 different cameras. The day shoots were all done on a Red Epic. That was the director of photography, Greg Krause. Good guy. He owns the camera. He rented it to us for the production. It runs very good. Actually, you know, he's a good operator. He helped out with Wind is Watching. You know, he's just a fantastic guy. And having him involved with Young Harvest and him going and doing that for us, you know, doing it for me, for my my first feature, it was really an honor to have someone there. And then we had the director of photography, Chris Langer, and Tim Hayden on the night shots, because there was 2 separate cameras, a Sony FS100 and a Sony FS700. So, you know, we're running 3 different cameras, and so the quality difference on the day shots and the night shots are a little bit different, but it's all just based on if you have the eye to detect the quality difference. So working with those 3 cameras and the budget and the lighting kits that we used and everything, it could equal out to $50,000, and that's really cool because being my first feature, you don't really get to work with that kind of money.
Right.
So it was really cool to be able to have the crew come out, because you know we had a lot of crew just show up for this project and they weren't getting paid anything because this is all low budget. We don't have the money to pay like that. So all the hard, you know, all the dedication and hard work that everybody put in, you know, some people came just like a couple weekends. Some people were there every single day. You know, I had 3 assistant directors. You know, we kind of had two assigned and one guy step up and take charge. So having those people show dedication like that on no budget, where they're not getting paid anything, and coming out and traveling all that way, it really shows you that the film community is working for a greater good, and that's to make a film and not worry about, how much money am I getting.
Now, something I've been hearing through the grapevine, mainly through a lot of the Conrad Studios Facebook stuff, is the hint of something called New Hollywood. Can you give us a brief explanation?
That is actually really cool you bring that up, because we don't really talk about it a lot. It was a movement that was signed by Conrad and some other people that, you know, his manager Bash Naran, he's actually getting ready to be my manager too, which is really cool, that I'm actually getting ready to sign someone to manage me and really step out and branch out too. But he's been with Conrad for several years, you know, just supporting him and getting him the connections to really excel. So New Hollywood was a movement that was started by not only our studio but several other people involved. And basically the concept behind it is we're tired of seeing, you know, like all those stupid remakes that come out, or just the really horrible ideas that Hollywood's dishing $10 million, $20 million, $30 million on. We don't want to see that anymore. As independent filmmakers, we know being original and being creative is really the only way you're going to get noticed. So we kind of made New Hollywood as a movement. And you guys, as the Gravestone Review, are more than welcome to join us in this movement, not only as where we're filmmakers, but you guys doing blog, radio, and stuff. You guys have a really original concept where you're doing movies that nobody wants to talk about. A lot of people just review these big movies and that's it.
Watch the review for Troll 2.
Oh yeah, Troll 2. that's nobody does reviews on Troll 2. So you guys are more than welcome to join us on that front. And everyone at home, New Hollywood's not just for us. It's for people who want to change Hollywood, start a new Hollywood, and that's really a movement I've been really excited about since we started it.
Right on. Now, this is going to be the first time a lot of people hear about Conrad Studios, and I hope that this helps it take off to another level.
The support has been tremendous in the last year and a half since we did Windows Watching. It's been just spiking up on how many people have been coming out and being supported. It's great. I can't say thank you enough to those people. The support is great. They know what we want to see, and not only that, they want to be involved because they want to be able to have a chance when Hollywood would never give you a chance. So that's really cool, the support that we have behind it, and it really makes it pretty good. And if you guys would like Conrad Studios on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, me or Conrad or Brennan, or
subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube. Watch one of our many short films. Watch we have Shadow People. I believe Shadow People is released on YouTube now, so you can go watch, Conrad's first directorial debut and really give it a chance to take a look at it.
Now, the Shadow People, that was your first time working with Conrad Studios.
Yeah, that was my first time back in 2010. I was with makeup artist Tyler Barnett, and he's a good friend of mine, and he's actually a good friend of Conrad's. They worked together several times, and I went up with Tyler just to go help him out. I knew a little bit about makeup and, working at a haunted house here in Lexington. I actually work with you. So it's being beside Tyler, it was really cool because I kind of had that, this is really cool. I'm going to work on a film set. I don't know anything about it. And then meeting Conrad, he immediately went up to me and said, I have an acting position open. I don't know who to fill. I don't want to play it myself. Would you be interested? And I took that, and it really started everything. And I actually played the hitchhiker in the film, and it was a great thing because I actually got to star on screen with Peter Marquardt, the same guy who was in Robert Rodriguez's first film, El Mariachi, as the villain. So, it's the whole 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Our studio's one step away from Robert Rodriguez. We know Peter, he knows Robert. So it's really cool, all the people,
I have the strange feeling we can now connect you to Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yeah, probably. In some way, I'm connected to Kevin Bacon by 1 degree.
We will figure this out. We will figure this out, and I'll get back to everyone whether or not he is connected to Kevin Bacon. It will happen.
I have a feeling we're like distant cousins or something because he's.
I don't know.
So
you're probably more of a distant cousin to Sean Astin.
I do look a little bit like Sam. But that's the beauty of it is networking. When you start getting involved with something, you think, oh, I'm never gonna get too far with this. But as long as there's a quote, I forget who says it, but once you start something, don't quit. Doesn't matter how slow you go, just don't quit. Because if you quit, you're not getting anywhere. Doesn't matter if it takes you 3 years to finish your art project. As long as you don't finish or don't quit, you'll eventually get there. You'll eventually have that product. And that's the thing about actors, about filmmakers. Believe it or not, if you just network yourself and put yourself out there wear your heart on your sleeve in a sense, put yourself out there with your ego, don't be shy. Just introduce yourself because you could end up meeting some great people and they could end up helping you out in the long run. And that's how I kind of ended up in my position. It was all networking and being able to meet people.
All right, so it's getting about time to wind up the interview. So I was told that you actually brought a clip for us.
Yes, you guys at home are actually going to get to see, a clip. You guys already watched the film. You'll know exactly the scene. It's the scene where our lead actor, Cameron McKendry, he plays Bryce Ryder, our lead. And then you have Danny Bass, who plays Old Man Sam. And it's kind of like the scene is their initial meetup. The first time that Bryce and Old Man Sam ever meet. And it's a really cool scene because it has a lot of great character building, and it kind of gives you that psychological feel of like, what's going to happen next. So I really hope you enjoy that scene. That scene was really difficult to film. I told you a little bit about it. There was actually
3 people behind the camera.
There was the camera operator, me, and 2 boom operators, or a boom operator and a sound mixer. And we're sitting here trying to go around this patio that has a swamp around it in the middle of the woods. And we're trying to, walk quietly so you don't hear us in the background and cause any issues with sound. And so just thinking about the fact that there's 3 people other than the cameraman behind this camera being very quiet, like risking falling in the swamp during shooting, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it would not have been good if that Red Epic had went in.
No, that would have been bad. I probably would have cried, probably would have killed myself. You would never have had this interview.
Future kids would be dead.
Yeah, it's all...
That's another story, another time.
Yeah, when you watch this clip, keep an open mind. This won't give you anything about the plot point. It'll tell you about the setup.
All right.
So I definitely hope you guys enjoy it.
All right, so let's take a look at that, and we'll be right back to wrap things up.
Hello there, young man.
Hello there, old man. Officer, how are you today?
Good. If I didn't know better, I'd say 2 things. Number 1, what brings you to these part of the woods? And number 2, what brings Bryce Ryder, arguably the most famous man in town, and perhaps the entire World Wide Web, to these part of the woods?
You know of me, huh? Well, it's the World Wide Web that brings me here, actually. I'm here on party business, and you and I know I'm a man who does good research.
What kind of research?
Well, let's see. I've learned that the former owners of this land, Mr. and Mrs. Douglas, are no longer living, and therefore this land has no property owner. And the government has yet to claim this area for whatever it's worth, so they assign park ranger for the time being.
You're good, kid. Very good. I'm impressed. What's with the camera following you around? Am I going to be on the internet?
Probably.
Am I going to be famous like you?
You could be, sir. Officer,
Call me Sam.
Sam. We're celebrating the release of my 100th video this weekend, and we need a place to throw the party. You see, we need a place that's big enough to hold a lot of people, but we also need a place that's secluded from the world. I don't want the guys in blue showing up. It's never good publicity. Plus, I know that Mr. and Mrs. Douglas used to have a cabin that was pretty much left intact. And
so you expect me to sign your papers and give you permission to use the campground in the Douglas cabin and throw your teenage party? And you expect me to do this for the mere fact that you're some sort of internet celebrity and you can do whatever you want?
I'll pay you $10,000.
Done!
That was awesome!
Thank you, Squiggle.
I like it. It's pretty funny.
This is what Spring Park brings to this house.
I know. Squiggle's a good kid.
Yes, he is. Yeah, so
what do you guys think?
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave comments on that clip down in the comment box for us. Matt here is going to read them. I'm going to make sure of it.
I'm really interested to see what you guys think about, just that one little clip. It's not a whole lot. It gives you a little taste of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you guys enjoy it. I really hope you guys, see something that you liked in it. Because it just gets better from there.
Well, Matt, thank you for coming out. Thanks for doing the interview, man.
Yeah, Kilgore, sorry I couldn't see you this time.
Yeah, I was actually going to be throwing that in here at the end, but
Okay.
By all means, we'll go ahead and say it now. Kilgore, Samuel, it sucks you're not here, man, but you're still with us in spirit. You are the heart and soul of the Gravestone Review.
Yeah, I was
wouldn't
really
be doing this if it weren't for you.
I was really hoping to get ripped on by him.
It'll happen. It'll
eventually.
happen. Next horror film you do, we're going to get you in here for another interview.
Oh, yeah.
And Conrad, we're coming for you. The Gravestone Review will be coming for you for an interview. I don't care if we have to come out to L.A. It's going to happen.
But, yeah, I appreciate it, Scott. Squiggle. Thanks, buddy.
That was
I
awesome.
appreciate it. This has been a fantastic situation.
A fantastic situation.
Yeah, fantastic situation.
Fair
He
enough.
threw me off, but that was awesome.
Now, remember, guys, and this is very important. If you can scream,
You're still alive.
That was awesome.